Hey guys, alright, sorry I'm not there. I'm feeling a little rough today. However, if you do finish making all the parts on the birdhouse, I do want to show you a few ways to assemble it. So first thing, open up Inventor, and there's about 3 different ways you can access the assembly. One, right from the main home page here, you can hit Assembly. You can go to New, and then come down here. Here's Assembly. You always want that standard file, okay? Or you can go up to the iPro, go to New, hover, and come down to Assembly. Choose one, doesn't really matter. So here I am in an assembly. I already started the assembly, so I'm going to go back. Okay. So first thing that you need to do is you need to place your first part. And in this particular example, the green part is the part that I want to work with. So I'm just going to double click, and you can see it's really big. I can't see right. Just go ahead and click, and now you can see your part, and you can see there I have another one. I only need one part, so I'm going to hit escape. Notice when I click on this part, I can move it any direction I want. Alright, so usually the part that you bring in first is what we call your base part, and you don't want that to move usually when you're trying to assemble. It creates problems when you try to assemble it. So how we fix that is you just right click, go up to the word grounded, select it, and now you can see that part don't move. So now we're ready to bring in more parts. So the first part I want to work with is that black part, that angled part, and click there, and I need 2 of those. So I'm going to click twice, and then I'm going to hit escape, and now I'm ready to start assembling. Now the constraints. We have several different options for constraints. If you look up here, some of this stuff you'll have to play with, but you'll use free move, free rotate, joint, and constraint when we're trying to create our assemblies. So if I hit constraint, here you see I have the different types. Okay, I'm not going to get into motion and transition just yet on this stuff, but we will go over that at a later date. So here you have, if you hover, it'll tell you what it is. You have mate, you have an angle, you have a tangent, insert, and symmetry. Insert is when you're trying to like insert like holes or something that goes into something that has been recessed. Okay, putting like, pegs in the holes, or sliding a hole over like a shaft or an axle, something of that sort. And then down here we have 2 solutions. We have a mate and we have a flush. Most of the time you're always going to use mate as your first constraint. The rule of thumb is you're going to need usually about at least 3 constraints in order to fully constrain your object. Okay, so any combination of mate and flushes will do, and the general rule of thumb is 3, right? So up and down, side to side, and in and out. Okay. All right. So before you do that, you want to kind of get these things positioned, your parts positioned on how you want them to go. And so here I can see, here's the high point of that angle, right? And that's what I want up against my board, is the high end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to free rotate, and G is the shortcut. So I'm going to select it, then I'm going to select this object, and I'm going to spin it. Here you can see I can spin it in a lot of different ways, right? I want this backside is what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I'm going to go to constraint. I'm going to make sure mate is checked, and then I'm going to, I should probably zoom in so you guys can see this. I don't know if you guys can see it. You see that little arrow? It's like a translucent arrow that's sticking, all right? It's pointing out towards me. You want to make sure you see that arrow, okay? I'm going to select it here, and then you see that arrow on the green piece. That's telling, hey, those 2 are going to mate, all right? And that's what I want. Once I've got that connected, hit apply. Now, if I hit cancel and then hit my free rotate, I can rotate this like such. And I'm going to go to constraint. This time I'm going to use the flush. Now I want to flush this face with this face. All right, notice I have the arrows, That is perfect in the same direction. That's what I want. Apply it, cancel, go back to the home so you guys can see that. Okay, if I hold down the shift key and click down on the mouse wheel, I can also get to that orbit free rotate. All right, help you spin things around. And here you guys can see I screwed up and I didn't pay attention to the angle. My angle's upside down. Okay, did that on purpose. No, seriously, honestly. So what we need to do is I need to come here to my first block, my first black part. When I hover on it, you can see that it's selected. Hit my drop down and say, okay, well, I think I need to delete the flush. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to delete the mate. And now it allows this part to move freely again. Okay. So now I'm going to hit G. I'm going to rotate that up. And I'm going to spin it like that. We're going to try that again. So go constraint, mate. I want that face with that face. Click apply. Rotate around. Flush. This with that. Apply. Home so you can see it. And now you can see I have that angle the way I want. Okay. But I'm not done. It's not fully constrained yet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bottom. You guys are asking, well, how do you know it's not fully constrained? It looks like, well, if I click on it, notice that I can still move it up and down, but I can't move it side to side, and I can't move it in and out. So I'm pretty well covered there, but there is the up and down constraint, and I don't want that to move anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to constraint, I'm going to go to flush, I'm going to flush it with this bottom and the bottom of my black piece, but then I need to do a 1-inch offset, and I want that to go the other way. Let's try that again. There we go. 1-inch offset from the bottom. Click apply. Go home. And now you can see this part. If you click and kind of like jiggle it around, you'll see if it moves, then it's not fully constrained. If it doesn't, then it's been fully constrained. Okay. So again, this part, hit G for free rotate. See the angle there. Okay. Go to constraint. I want that face with that face. And if you get it in the general area, the part will go in the area that you want it to go. All right. So if you do just randomly come up here, well, the part's going to go high up here. All right. So try to get it in the area where you believe you want it to go. So I'm going to hit apply. Now I'm going to do flush. I'm going to flush that face with that face. Apply. And I'm going to do flush again. I'm going to flush that bottom with that bottom. Click apply. And this thing is now should be fully constrained. Okay. I'm going to go to place. And now I'm going to bring in, let's say, my red part. All right, I only need one. Spin this around. Yep, that's my front. How do I know? The angle. See this angle right here? It needs to follow the same angle so it's continuous with the black part. That's why we angled all these. Okay. Why do we angle? Well, if you just make a flat roof, what's going to happen to, say, we have a really bad storm? Okay. Well, do you want the water to sit and pool, or do you want the water to run off? Well, I guarantee you the birds say, make sure the water runs off so our home is nice and dry, right? So anyway, a little bit about design and why we do things. So now I'm going to mate. I want to mate this side with that side. Click apply. I'm going to flush. Go ahead and flush this with that side. Click apply. Turn it. There we go. Constraint. I'm going to flush the bottom with the bottom, apply, and it's done. Okay guys, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. You still need to add in the orange part and the blue part and the little yellow perch. And I just realized that I probably should have did the orange piece first. I did not. That might be a good idea, guys. You might want to go ahead and put that orange piece in first before you put the red piece in. Might make it a lot easier when you're trying to get around in there. Yeah. So, there you have it. And this is probably why I'm not in school today. So, just not thinking straight. Alright, guys. Try to get this thing assembled. Let me know on Monday if you guys have any questions. Alright. See you guys. Peace out.